Morning. That is awesome. Ooh. Woo. Chilly. I'm in Florida, and I love Florida. And today's topic is child support. What is child support? In a nutshell, child support is money. Where did child support come from? It's only been around for about 50 years. However, supporting children has been around as long as human beings have been around. I get accused constantly of being a deadbeat dad. So you didn't pay child support, Caleb. And it's true, I fell behind. I don't deny that at all. I did fall behind. Lots of people do. But what is child support? Where did it come from? Child support as we know it started in the 70s through Title 4D of the Social Security Act. Child support, cheering support, child support. I always use it in air quotes because everybody knows that's ever had to deal with it. It has nothing to do with supporting cheerings. No, I'm not paranoid. I'm making sure my bike's not getting stolen. It's locked up and there's hardly anybody out here, but still have to look around and make sure. But child support, as we know it, is just money. It's stolen money. And when you fall behind on it, you get this big letter D, deadbeat. That's the new scarlet letter. 90% of the people who wear that scarlet letter D are all fathers. 10% of those people that wear that scarlet letter D are mothers. And I think it's crap. And that is not to say that I want equal suffering. I want 50% of the fathers to suffer and 50% of the mothers to suffer. That's small-minded thinking. And enough of us deadbeats start talking about it, it makes people squeal. This is one of those triggers that a lot of people won't talk about, because when I talk about abolishing child support, cheering support, they squeal and squeal and squeal and, oh, Caleb, see, I knew you were a deadbeat. You're so brazen about it, you literally even openly admit it, you didn't pay child support. Here we go. Oh, God dang, that feels good. Well, the truth is, I used to pay child support. Paid it for years. This is the one they like to say, Caleb, you should have gone back to court. If you wanted your child support reduced, you should have gone back to court, done it the right way. Well, I did that. Lots of times. I got sued over and over and over and over and over. Try to get it reduced. The thing about courts, is family courts in particular, is they're very slow when it comes to reduction of quote-unquote child support. Very, very slow. Love this. A lot of people like me worked in the oil field. Lots of divorced dads in the oil field, West Texas. And there's a reason, because it pays really well when it's actually booming. It pays really well. An average worker in the oil field can easily make 3 to 4 times the average worker not in the oil field, you know, flipping burgers or whatever. The downside of oil field work, other than it just sucking so much ass, I would know. I did about 5,000 to 6,000 field jobs in my 25-year career. The reason it does pay so well is because very few people want to do it. It's hard. It's hard on your body. Hours excruciating. Working out in the elements, extreme cold, extreme heat. And on top of that, when the bust hits, it shuts off overnight. Ask anybody who's, I'm gonna turn around, my arm's getting tired. Ask any boomer who was working in the oil field that you may know back in the late 70s and early 80s about the busts. They'll tell you. Going and going and going and going, and then one day, boop, the light switch gets shut off. All your income stops immediately. Whoa! When I get washed out to sea, that sure make a lot of the squealers happy. But when the light switch shuts off and the income goes away, you know what doesn't go away? Child support. Caleb, you should go back and file and fight for custody. You need to go fight more. First of all, why should I have to be fight to be a dad to my kids in the first place? You go back to court, it takes weeks, sometimes months, just to go back to court. In fact, one time I was sued and went back to court to try to get my cheer and support lowered. The opposing attorney died. Like just a few days before we were supposed to go back and me get my relief that everyone likes to scream that I should have done. I'd already fallen behind by then. That's the reason I was going to court. By the time we actually got to court, or about to get to court, I was really far behind. Oil field went away. So, after that attorney died, the judge, rightfully so, I understand, you got to give him time to get a new attorney, get him caught up. Then you got to get back on the docket. And that could take months. And it didn't. In my case, it took months. It took forever. And all the while, I'm falling behind at the old rate that I can't afford. So, again, I get labeled with this big D on my chest. Deadbeat. And again, the reason I don't call myself a father's rights activist, rather a good parent activist, simply because this affects mothers too. It just so happens it affects mothers about 1/10 of the time as it affects fathers. The really, really bad part about that is, relatively speaking, there's lots of people like me, otherwise good fathers, who simply cannot pay the demands demanded to them through the crooked family courts, which came from Title 4D. there's relatively more of us. You know, there's other dads out there, other men like me. It's bad, but it's not as bad. But for the mothers that are forced to wear that Scarlet D, not nearly as many of them. And they are labeled, wow, holy moly. That was a big one. That's so cool. So they are even more unfairly judged by this because they truly are in a minority. These mothers, these 10% of these mothers with wearing this Scarlet D, it affects them worse simply because they're shunned. There's a reason so many of them, us in general, mothers or fathers, don't speak out about this because we get harpooned and reamed and told what awful people we are, because by today's standards, the measurement of success of a good parent is how well you can manage to pay the child support. In reality, you know the old saying, child support is the root of all evil. The Bible says so, don't you know? Caleb, the Bible doesn't say that. It says money's the root of all evil. Well, since we're just all making shit up that we have no clue what we're talking about, even the Bible doesn't say money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. And as non-religious as I am, the Bible is actually really, really brilliant on a lot of the various authors over the thousands of years that book was acquired and accumulated, of which I personally believe that most people who claim to read it and believe it, A, don't read it, and B, even if they do, they haven't a clue what it says. Anyway, I don't want to get off on that topic too much, but the love of money is the root of all evil. Child support, as we know it, is the modern equivalent. I get so many people attacking me over that, which is fine because I've been at this so long, I just don't care anymore. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I do care about other people that I personally know that are currently going through the same bullshit, the Title 4D courts, that I had to go through. And back then, even though some people mentioned it, I just didn't think about it. I didn't research it. I didn't do anything. Again, I'm not an expert on Title 4D. I'm an expert at going through their punishment, though. Part of the reason I want to bring this to attention, not that I think that voting necessarily fixes anything, but as an anarchist, I can't wait for the people who don't like me to get a hold of that one, like as if this is the first time I've ever said it. I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. The reason I'm bringing this up is this is one of those triggers that really, really upsets people. And all states use Title 4D as a justification. It's a law they follow. It's unconstitutional as hell, and everybody that knows what it is knows it. But these people running for Attorney General in Texas, there's 4 of them, and I've talked about this. Eva Guzman and George P. Bush and Joe Jaworski and Lee Merritt. I've been watching, and I brought this up before. I've been watching their Twitters and their campaigns, and the issues they talk about, voting and abortion and civil rights, and the list goes on and on. And I've tagged them all several times in Twitters, and they all ignore me, which is fine. I don't expect them to answer everything. I don't answer all my questions asked me. People ask me on Twitter or I don't have much on Twitter, but primarily on YouTube. But not one of these people running against deadbeat Ken Paxton will address or bring up the issue of Title 4D and child support. And they certainly won't take a stand on it. And that just makes me ask the question, why? I think I know the reason. I think I know the reason they won't talk about it is because it's a political time bomb. If they take a stand one way or another, they know automatically that half of their voting constituents are going to instantly either love them or hate them. If they're for Title 4D, then man, all the money collectors there, people who make their entire careers of getting knocked up, just popping out babies left and right, because they know when they go to court, there's a 99% chance they're going to get some money out of the deal. Even if they have a court-appointed attorney or even go pro se. They know these judges, by and large, are going to give them their money. And if these politicians come out against it, they're instantly going to get the support of people like me, the payers, people that pay all this money. And the leeches are going to squeal like pigs. That is their livelihood. They will do anything, and I mean anything, to discredit and lambaste and roast, to attempt to discredit and roast anybody who says anything. And I can prove that. Just go watch the comment section of my own YouTube. Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That cooled off the nutsack. Dang! Woo! That was a big one. Go watch my YouTube channel, especially the more recent videos, but some in the old, but mostly the recent ones. There's loads and loads and loads of these trolls. And I do play with them a little bit. I set things out, just see if they'll bite, just like they set things out to see if I'll bite. I'll bite and talk to them, but I'm not stupid. I'm not completely stupid anyways. I know when I'm being attempted, when there are people trying to set me up. And I'm simply not going to fall for it. Well, just go watch my channel. They watch my channel. And they get so confused. They take all these things I say out of context. It's really easy to do because I got a lot of content, relatively speaking. Got a lot of content lambasting the family court. And again, since I finally woke up and realized the root of all this, I was hacking at branches all those years, successfully, on some, unsuccessfully in the long run. I've decided to strike the root and attack Title 4D, because most people have no clue what Title 4D is. And when I explain it, some of them get it, and it starts to make sense, and I hope it does. To the people it does make sense to, some of those are people like me, and some of them are the leeches that squeal when you threaten their livelihood. They don't want child support to go away. This is a good system, Caleb. You're against the Churins. Obviously, I'm against the Churins if I question child support. Well, you can put me on record as saying this: fuck child support. There's a reason I put in air quotes all the time when I'm typing it out, or literal air quotes when I'm doing a video about it, because it's not it doesn't support the child at all, or very little. Yes, you can quote me, haters. Quote me on that. Caleb Leverett said, fuck child support. Yes, I did. I sure did. Because what child support is these days has almost nothing to do with supporting children. It's a money grab. It is exactly what the Bible talks about. That the love of money is the root of all evil. That's exactly what the Bible talks about. It's exactly true. It is true. And if you don't believe me, ask yourself this: if these people don't love their money so much, why are they so focused on getting it? You should go back and fight for your children. Why? My kid's mother and I had a philosophical difference on just about everything. I own that. We're just different. We had different ideas on how to raise our our 4 children that we raised. It's just different. Oh, Caleb slipped. He said 2. What does that mean? That obviously means something. Do what you will with it. Have fun with it. I put it out there. Just like I put out everything. Even things that don't particularly make me look good. Ask yourself, why do they keep bringing this up? Not just with me, in general. Because they love that money. They gotta have that money. They want that money, and they will do anything, cut anybody's throat that they have to get their money. That's how they see it. When in reality, again, as I've talked about in the past, raising human children is a mixture of time and effort. And thanks to the Rothschilds, money, as we know it, exists. Yes, I know. This phone that I'm recording on costs money. The little tiny sailboat that I live in costs money. And yes, I am a YouTube partner, and I make money off of YouTube. That's another big criticism I get. Obviously, there's some things about my kids that I don't talk about. Which, that's another thing that my critics love to criticize me for. They'll criticize me no matter what I say. You exploit your children. You make money off YouTube. Well, first of all, what do you got against making money? I don't get online and talk about all the money I send to my children, even to this day, like directly. I'm not going to, because it's none of your business. It's no one's business, any more than whatever you do with your kids is any of mine. It's not my business. I just lost my train of thought. Imagine that. Feels so good. Anyway, child support. The way we think of child support today has nothing to do with raising children. It's got everything to do with greedy people wanting more money. So what's your solution, Caleb? You're so brilliant. What's your solution? Equal shared parenting. Simple as that. 50-50 should be the default in all divorce cases. 50% of assets, 50% of time with the children. And then I can already hear it. Well, oh, Caleb, we can't do that because my ex is a piece of crap. He did this and he did that. And he's a deadbeat dad. He's awful. I can't do that, and I can't admit that what my real intentions are is I want the money, but we can't do that because he's a piece of crap. Well, why'd you spread your legs for a piece of crap? He didn't just say that. Yes, I did. Why did you make children with a deadbeat? Well, Caleb, you can't. Well, why did you made? I own it. I own my mistakes. I've been open about that for years. I made 4 children with a woman that I wasn't compatible with. That's not a slam or a lie it's just a fact. I acknowledge it. I shouldn't have done it. Which is why I openly advocate for other young people who are coming of age, consider not getting married, consider not having children. At least not as soon as I did, by age 20. 21. I was 20, about to be 21. Anyway, it's too young. Go find yourself, kids. Find who you are. You don't have to bring kids in this world to live a fulfilling life. I know lots of people don't have kids. They live fine lives. Life's tough. Everybody knows that. Why compound the problem, though? Because there's a 50-50 chance, if you do have children that young, you're not going to be compatible with that person you made it with because you don't know them. Anyway, I guess that concludes today's TED Talk. If you've made it to the end of this and you happen to live in Texas and you happen to watch what I talk about the race coming up in 2022, of which 4 people are contending for Ken Paxton's seat, ask them why they won't talk about, or first ask them what their opinion is about Title 4D. What are their thoughts on Title 4D? Eva Guzman, Joe Jaworski, Lee Merritt, George P. Bush. Because weirdly enough, the only person running for Attorney General in Texas in 2022 that does acknowledge Title 4D is Ken Paxton himself. Allegedly, I've been told by my little birdies that he's against Title 4D. And there's nothing he can do about it because he didn't make the laws. He just enthusiastically enforces those laws. So I just want to raise the question to these people that want his seat. Do you really want to make a difference? Or is this just another power grab? Because what good is it going to do to get rid of Ken Paxton if the next shiny Jim comes in there in his seat, does the same thing? Yeah, they might tweak some of their pet issues. But in Texas in particular, if they don't talk about it, they're going to continue Title 4D. They're going to continue ruining families. They're going to continue putting these scarlet letters on 90% men and 10% women. It's just going to be the same thing over and over and over. The difference will be your guy got in. You got to be on the winning team. It's just ridiculousness. Again, that's why I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm not even religious. I'm not even anti-religion. I just simply don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what's out there. I don't know where we came from. At least I'm honest about it. Kind of like me being honest about, being a drunk for 7 years. I was. I regret it. That's how I dealt with it. Not saying it was right, but I did it. At least I own it. Unlike these critics that just love to roast me on YouTube. These anonymous people, and I'm not even going to say any of their names. A, I don't really remember their full anonymous name, but B, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction. Why these anonymous people, they love to roast me. They claim over and over and over that they've got all this proof. They've done their research. Caleb Leverrett's a deadbeat. He's a liar. I've got the proof. Tell him to publish all his records. You got to ask yourself, why? Why won't he do it? Well, because I don't want to. I'm not trying to take me down. You are. If you're going to take me down, have a little credibility, troll. Show us your real name. People know who I am. I show my face. I'm obviously here in Florida. People know exactly who I am, what I stand for. And there are certain things that I won't talk about that are none of your business. But if I'm such a liar, and you are so hell-bent on proving me a liar, so hell-bent that all these trolls leave comment after comment after comment after over and over and over. They say and they act like they want to take me down. Well, do you really? Do you really want to take me down? How dedicated are you? Let's put this to the test. How dedicated are you that you want to take me down? Are you willing to show your face and your name and all this proof that you've got that I'm such a liar? Prove it. And again, like I said in a video last week I made, I'll help you do it. I'll help you prove to me. Send me the raw footage. I'll publish it on my own channel. And I'll link it to your channel. So pretty. Wait. So vast when the wind comes out of the west from the land over there out that way. It's just so calm, way off, and then right up here where there's a big slope. I don't know if you can tell, but that's like a 15-foot drop there. Oh, it's just so pretty. Anyway, yeah, like I said, fuck child support. It's a load of crap. Most parents love their children, and they're going to do anything and everything they possibly can to take care of them. Yes, sometimes bad people do bad things. You know, it's like murder. Murder's been against the law since the beginning, as long as I can remember. And I know before I was even born, people still do it. So anyway, fuck child support. And wish that all these haters are just ready to take me down. I'm so ready for your video. I'm so ready for this proof. I'm so ready to publish it. My bike, the tide's coming up. My bike is getting in the water. I gotta go save it. This might be my first experience with quicksand. Anyway, y'all take care. Bye. Be good.